Hey, Lynn.
Oh, wow. Good morning. The animals are playing, and they just ran into me. How are you? How are
I'm
you?
doing good. How are you?
I'm very, very well, thank you. I would like a reading this morning, if that's all right.
Sure. I'll be happy to give you a reading. So you kind of know how this works. I need to tell you to tell me the first 10 minutes of your day. Be as detailed as you can about when you first woke up. So go ahead and
I woke up and I stumbled out of bed this morning, trying to find my robe. Then I turned the light on and stumbled around with my eyes closed, trying to find my robe. Then I went out through the living room, through the foyer, into the kitchen, almost tripped on a toy. Was going to make a pot of coffee, but I decided to go for a microwaved coffee instead. And so then I got that cup of coffee in the microwave, went into the bathroom, started the...
All right, I've tuned in to you.
Very good.
Okay. So I've read you on air before, so people that know you're Seeker333 in the chat room.
Yes, I am.
So the energies of your east direction that come forward are ultimately about the first process of understanding the layers of energy that are in you. And this process is a release, let go, recycle, renew process. This is different than a standard purification process. This is when you're making the inventory about who you are, and that inventory simply looks at the polarized life events that you have, and you begin to recycle the energy that's invested in them to a more neutral energy so that you can respend it on future events or the ever-present co-creating you. When you are renewing old concepts, you are like the faith that helped you get through the life force that you went through. That's the connective tissue to the spiritual person that you are. You're renewing that life force, renewing that concept, adding more energy to it. Whereas where some of the more negative things in your life, you're removing energy from that and changing the polarity and allowing this energy to return to you in a recycled natural energy format. Whereas a purification process is to dump out the purse and get rid of all the stuff that's in there so that you return to the original identity of that person. So you've done purification before, but now it's time for a more refined concept where you create this internal time where you're able to go over some of the thoughts, memories, actions, habits that have gone through in your life, and you'll physically say to them, I'm repairing, renewing, and recycling the energies of these habits, these times of life, these memories, so that the ever-present co-creating me may go forward in life with all of their power. And when you begin this process of repair, renew, and recycle, you'll be going through the actual process of the giveaway. Because you're giving it away to the universe. You're allowing the universe to hear your intent. And you're allowing the universe to repay you with energy, to repay you with fire energy, to repay you with healing. When you send energy out in the universe, I'll liken it to like sending something in the mail. And you get that notification in your email that somebody has sent you something and you've got a tracking number. Well, energy works the same way, but only the conscious person that's aware of it can repair, renew, recycle, send that energy to the universe and allow it to return to them in an instantaneous mode so that the universe itself is giving you a theme of energy to work with as the ever-present co-creating you who's trying to create healing and an expansion in your life. You understand that so far?
I certainly do.
So,
yes.
Go ahead. Say something.
Yes, the healing, the process of healing and addressing the physical part of it as well. My habits, my addictions, yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we all have those.
Yes.
Even me, we all have them.
Yes.
You know, I still microwave a coffee every now and then. I can't blame you.
It was just quicker this morning, darn it.
Though I won't ever do instant coffee again. I won't do instant coffee.
How come?
It's just something about the flavor. I was big into coffee when I was young. I worked at a coffee shop. I could do those latte artworks and put your picture in the latte.
Mm-hmm.
So I had good coffee.
Okay, just spoiled. That's it. Kind of a coffee snob.
Yes.
Very good.
A bit of a coffee snob. I even grow my own coffee plant. So.
Oh, neato. I got to say, though, I did run across a couple of instant coffees that were really yummy, and that was the Black Silk by Folgers. But anyway.
Well, I don't even look at instant coffee shop store.
Very good.
So you're in the stage of expansion, and this is what your east direction is saying. This is the energies coming to and from you. Now the next direction of your life. This is a little more different for you. This is your dream world. This is the infinite dream world trying to communicate with you in layers and patterns so you understand that there's a path and a process here for you to free will explore and understand. And that first path is to reflect on the dreams you've had. Have you started a dream journal?
Well, no, because I always have a journal nearby, but when it comes to remembering the dreams, I'm not doing that yet.
What do you think the reason is?
Maybe something I don't want to look at. Fear.
Let's go just a little bit deeper.
Okay,
At times when people have had tough lives, it's very difficult for them to count their victories. And that's the fear of success, really.
Okay.
You already deeply know that dreams will answer so many of your questions when you're connected to them. And one of the fears of the dream, the fear of that connectedness, you will have to go through these moments of victory where you conquer the old self who didn't allow you to see the victories, to see the joy, to see the patterns of soul contracts that are interacting with you in this level with you now. So for you, the best thing I can describe is there are dreams you can remember earlier in your life. You know, they may not be perfect, but you're a writer. You can co-create with them. And I think you need to start like 2 or 3 paragraphs that are some positive dreams that you've had.
Okay.
So you can think of any of them in your lifetime. And then what you're going to do is before you go to bed, you're gonna tell yourself the positive dreams and begin to count your victories. So let's say you describe 2 positive dreams, and just before you go to sleep, you begin to count the victories. I am powerful enough and strong enough to confront the self of me that doesn't want to explore dreams. I now call to my dream world and say it's time for me to have the next victory in my life. So I'm more aware of these dreams. And I will honor you, dreams, when I awaken, and I will begin to continue to record what you have. When you're doing that, you're challenging the autopilot of the person going to sleep and the person awakening. And when you challenge that autopilot, quite literally, your dreams have more access to you. They have more ability to function within the innocence of the dream world. The dream world is viewpoints and options your soul brings to you so you can understand the new abilities that are functioning through you. I mean, you're beginning to understand how powerful your soul is and the type of healer that you're meant to be in this life.
I am beginning to understand, yes.
You've experienced so much in your life, positive and negative, but these lessons were there so that you understand them at the most primal level. So when someone comes to you with similar wounds, you know what they've been through. You've healed it in yourself, and you can provide wisdom to them that helps them associate through their own trauma. You know, I call it like being wound mates. That you're healing your wounds. And when one type of wound is showing in a healing process and it's shared in a circle of trust, it allows the other person to update their systems of healing or their maps and directions towards those things. You're coming into a time where you need the prayer and inner peace in you so that when people come to you for healing, that they instantly understand that you have that spark of prayer, that spark of inner peace. That isn't connected with dogmatic religion. It is just your heart space, creating a zone of trust with yourself and a zone of trust with your children and your animals and your grandchildren, and allowing other peoples to come into the far end boundaries to earn their circle of trust so you can share your healing wisdom with them. And at the same time you're sharing healing wisdom, what you're sacrificing is your old story. Because your old story is a healing story.
You're so right. I did have I've always recognized people's pain. and their sorrows. I mean, I can just look at them and feel it. And 2 days ago, I had that recollection because I had to confront. I had to meet with the ex for reasons. Anyway, but I do. And so I recognize their pain, and I'm at the point now where how do I turn that around? How do I make that useful so I can help them? And so that's part of my process of healing as well. You know, when I get there, I will be able to know what type of healing I can give to them, I believe.
I will help you chart a course.
Yeah.
The first concept of the course that you're taking here is you have to be willing to accept the winds of change.
Okay.
The winds of change are the universe repaying you in many ways, shapes, and forms with healing energy. So you have to begin the prayer concept of being open to receiving energy from the universe in your circle of trust.
Okay.
So that's a vital technique that people need to learn. And it's one of those things you just got to do every day. And it's an endurance battle because there are times you don't want to open up your sacred space to anything, to even the universe. And that's ultimately what keeps people locked in the cultural concepts of domination and control.
Is not being able to open up.
Correct.
Yes.
In that circle of trust, with that zone of inner peace that allows you to experience the messages of the universe. And the messages of the universe come in many forms. At times they have no vision, have no illumination. They have nothing attached to them other than they're a wave of love energy that's coming to you in a tidal format. And it just you as the person has to absorb these waves of energy. I get so many people telling me I get these waves of shivers and it feels like my body is cold. That's because you're rejecting love from someone. You know, it means a few other things, but generally it's you're rejecting love. It seems I've lost Seeker for a second. She'll be back in a second. Every now and then Skype goes a little weird. And we're reaching this point where when people begin to awaken to the greater concepts of how to open themselves to this concept is when you get more of the unlimited vision of the dream world. You get more of the full concept of the dream world. You're allowing yourself to exist in this zone of trust with the great energies of the universe repaying you in this tidal format. This tidal format is so important to understand because it's where vision begins. It's where you root and ground yourself in all of the concepts of vision. It's where you bring in the full energies of the world, the full energies of the universe, and allow them to coexist in your zone of trust, in your sacred space, so that you can create even more unlimited vision with them. And that unlimited vision is the dream time. Is that world in between worlds. It is the uni-world layered on top of every other world. It seems we're still having a little issue with Skype here. Let's see if I can hang up and call her back. Alright. So that unlimited vision, that unlimited dream world is ultimately about understanding your zone of trust that you create. Lynn, are you back?
I am back.
Okay.
That was interesting.
Well, every now and then Skype gets a little energetic, and I kind of liken it like all of a sudden the moth of Skype suddenly hit the flame.
Yep. Yes, you just started breaking up, and then you were gone. So.
Yeah.
So where were we?
It's the energies of opening up. Is what's going on for you. You have to open your zone of trust to these waves of energy that are coming from the universe. And as you begin to extend the zone of trust, you'll be going through these moments of joy. And these moments of joy will begin to slowly creep into you. And it'll be you to take them into your inner spots that need this joy energy, that need these power energy, where I call it the ritual joy, because the energy is coming at you in this tidal format over and over and over again. You've extended your zone of trust, and you've indicated to the universe, I'm ready to hear your message. I'm ready to receive the healing so I can go on to my next level.
Yes.
You do that for a period of 2 or 3 days, and then you slowly retract your zone of trust so that only the more refined energies of the universe come into and allow you to co-create with your spirit guides. And when you begin co-creating with the spirit guides in a more inner zone of trust instead of the very edge of the zone of trust, you empower them to teach you their language. And when you learn their language, you understand that it functions in pictures, it functions in words, it functions with your external voice talking to them and then an internal voice answering them, or two external voices going back and forth, because your aura, your energy needs that. And when you experience outer dialogue, where that's me talking to you, and at the same time, there's an inner person of you going, yes, I'll ask this question. On the other side of that is when you're off the call with me, you can talk this all out aloud. Our culture is very weird about people talking to themselves. So what's your view on talking to yourself?
I do it all the time. It doesn't matter to me who's around.
You get great conversations, too.
I can, yeah. And then sometimes I'm like, oh, God, you're just a crazy lady. Be quiet. But, yes, I do have an inner knowing. And, you know, there have been so many times when I haven't listened and it starts yelling at me. Hello, wake up. But, yes.
Have you identified any of those voices as a spirit guide yet?
Not by name. Maybe energy. I think that they've always been with me, and they're all very familiar. But my lack of openness has kept them at bay.
Okay. So
yeah.
you're ready to talk to them.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. You're a writer. So your first format is going to be in writing. So what I want you to do is write a hello spirit guides letter.
Okay.
Okay. And
all right. As we speak.
No, I mean when we get done.
Yeah.
Write a hello spirit guides. I'm Lynn. I'm Seeker 333. I've been through some crap in my life, and I'm ready to let go of it. What do you guys got to help? Let's start somewhere. I'm going to extend the zone of trust. That's your first paragraph. And then after that is you defining the boundaries of how they communicate with you. You can say, all right, I'm capable of talking out loud to myself, but I need to understand the format of when you respond. Will you be a feminine voice, a masculine voice? Will you be a neutral internal concept or an external concept? I need to know that so I can define my boundaries of trust with those that I'm going to be allowing into the communicative healing process with me. By defining all of that, you begin this zone of trust process that allows them to understand what you're saying and create a language you function in. A vehicle of mediumship that allows you to use your third eye, your clear audience, and your clairsentience to take to the new level.
Makes sense. Are you there?
I'm here. You're doing.
Oh, phew. You never know with this bouncy stuff.
So the next thing here is your places of power, the place that empowers you. Are you familiar with smudging?
Yes.
You do it?
I do. Yes. I'm out of my sage right now, but yes, I smudge. I also, I created a sacred circle the other day. I was led to prepare the fire. I have it in a circle. We have a spot where the swimming pool used to be, so it's dirt out in the backyard, and I enclosed my circle with salt for protection. So my fire is still waiting.
Outstanding.
And yeah, it's a fire to honor all and gratitude and love because of, how far I've come. And yeah. So yeah, I'm familiar with it.
Okay. So Lynn,
Yes.
you've got this fire pit protected by salt. What you planning to do with it?
Well, I'm following guidance by, burning the fires. I really don't know exactly what I'm doing, but I always make up my own ceremonies and rituals. I thought it would be to honor my ancestors and all that is, and, like I said, in love and gratitude. How's that sound?
That's outstanding. So the next question is, when are you going to do it?
Tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, well...
Plan a day. Plan
yes.
it. Honestly, plan it. And this is when you get the opportunity. Let's say you decide to do the fire tonight. That gives you a few hours to write your Hello Spirit Guides paragraph. Gives you a few hours to look at the repair, renew, recycle concept. So when you come to the fire, you've come to it in a method and a manner of release, of giveaway. And when you're giving that energy to the fire converts it and allows you to take it back instantaneously through the warmth of the fire.
Very good. Well, I was planning to do it for the full moon, but
don't worry about the full moon. Plan yourself 3, 4, 5 days in advance, even a few hours in advance. Okay. It's so important that when you go to do something ceremonial, you bring ceremonial concepts to it. It's so important to prepare yourself for these energies because it's your opportunity to let go of the junk. And when you're done with it, the junk is gone and the new energies of the tidal force of repayment of the universe is there. That's when you begin to receive so many new layers of understanding because you let go of the junk.
Yes, and I am beyond ready to let go of the junk. Okay. I don't want it anymore. No, thank you.
Make a junk list that you're going to take to the fire.
Okay. Oh, I already have a bag full of stuff to burn.
Okay. Well, I'm actually an actual list that you write out.
Okay, junk. I'll write it out.
Okay. And what you can do is write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off. Write it and tear it off, and keep throwing it into the fire. Okay. And repeat it out loud as you're giving it away to the fire. Fire, friend that's in my zone of trust. I am giving away all of these concepts of the negative things that happen to me. I am open in a zone of trust to receive the new energies of life so I can take even more into me to understand my healing process so I may heal myself and heal others.
Okay.
When you're co-creating with ceremonial time like that, you are the shaman.
I am the shaman. Okay. I understand.
Okay?
Yes.
Understand.
Yes.
So now we get to the next part of Lynn. I've gotten to know you over the times you've called into shows. You're part of the Sacred Feminine show. You're an incredibly powerful spirit. You're right on that edge of really opening up your intuition to a new level. And the only thing that's holding you back right now is the fear of success.
Okay. I'm glad you identified that for me because I've been asking myself. I have been asking, what you scared of? How come? Okay, good. Okay.
Being the shaman allows you to taste test success.
How's that?
Because every time you give away something to the fire, you get something back.
Oh.
And each one's a little taste of success until finally you get the habit of success and you say, I want success. I do not want failure. I do not want stagnant and inaction anymore. And you're allowing more and more and more of yourself to be a part of that successful person that is confronting their issues and healing them in such a way that you can open yourself up to the layers of intuition that are trying to get at you from every layer of your spirit.
Can you feel me smiling? Because
I can.
I just got a big shitty on my face, man. Oh, whoops. Daytime radio. Yeah. Yes, exactly. Oh my goodness. I love it because Yeah, I'm there. I'm there, ready. Like I say, beyond. I think I've punished myself enough. I think I've been in this mode of whatever, penance.
No time out.
Like I say, yeah, I've suffered enough. And this place of beating upon myself is done. It's time for a new place. And
well, I got one more suggestion for you.
Okay. You know, I do follow.
I
do follow your advice.
I know you do.
That's
why you're ready for this next layer.
Yeah, there are many things that I've put into practice that you have suggested. And, oh my goodness, I need to jump for joy. I really, seriously, I don't know. I've had some sort of healing going on. My lower back is like the pain is barely even there now. Okay, and I do not exactly know if it was the salt sage silver, but I did have one particularly really bad morning. I took the salt pack and laid it on my lower back where the pain was, and it must have been about 45 minutes that I slept. But when I got up, the pain was gone. Okay, and ever since that day, there's just been little, if I move the wrong way, ouch. But now, so now I'm just kind of dealing with the physical part of, my physical dependence upon the meds that I was on. So anyway, but yeah, woohoo! Yeah, okay, continue, please.
The next layer for you is your voice.
Uh-huh.
It's time for you to start recording your voice. Most cell phones have a little voice recorder built into them.
Yes.
Whenever you sit out in the morning, start doing a little voice recording log.
Okay.
Because when you go to play it back, that is locking in time that vibration and self-expression of you. For every microsecond you go forward, you're a different person. And when you begin to record your vibratory voice in this healing process, you get intuition from your former selves. And your former selves contain so much energy that you're able to reabsorb it right away and go right back into the healing path.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes. Okay, so could you record voice? Sorry.
Just record your voice. That's
there
it.
We go.
You wake up in the morning, you get your coffee, you sit down outside, you look over your yard, and you've got a cell phone always, right?
Yes. Well, mostly, yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Or a recording device, whatever. Start recording your thoughts.
I will.
Right? And then transcribe them to paper. When you go from recording thoughts to transcription, you are really in the thick of change. You're really doing the hard work because it's physically required for your brain and the physical ever-present co-creating you to connect to those concepts of change. And writing is a great way. To go from recording to writing is refining it in such a format that it really deeply resonates with you. Don't be surprised if you find yourself tearing when you're listening to yourself speak.
Okay.
Because it's your own truth.
Yes, and I'm familiar with what you're speaking of, because at times I will reread certain things, and yeah, it does bring a tear to the eyes, but listening to myself, I was doing that yesterday, and I really had a hard time relating to the person that was speaking on the phone a couple months ago, but at the same time, I remember, the pain of it, right? I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah. I remember when you first called in. I remember the hesitation and pain in your voice.
Yeah.
And by at the end of the show, I had you looking into a direction that wasn't the pain.
Mm-hmm.
And it was up to you to continue to look in that direction. And when you hear that old voice, that old person, it's so tough for you to relate because you've changed so much.
Right. And that's what happened was I wrote out a lot of gratitude, love and gratitude for how much I've grown. That person back in February, I have much empathy for her, but I'm just not her anymore.
Right.
And
not her anymore.
Yeah. So Yay.
And that's because you chose to give her away to be yourself.
Yes.
And that's the true giveaway process. You did it. You're the absolute shining light of an example of the giveaway.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty exciting. And, it's pretty rough at times. But, so far it's been so very worth it. So I'm glad I chose to stand and face it and not run anymore.
Well, now that you're not running and you're standing in place and owning your power, you get to choose your next layer of investment. And this is important. When you go to light that fire, you're bringing the investment of yourself to it. And that's the real purpose of ceremonial time.
Okay.
Real purpose.
Sounds great.
I want to thank you for calling in. And when you called in, a couple months ago for the first time, you never listened to my show. I want people to know that. Never heard. Just tuned into my show and heard a call-in number and called in. And from that point on, she made her own choice to change.